Okay, so what did Rong actually tell me that might be more useful than just me recounting his philosophy? Well, he explained that Elastos was the infrastructure, the framework which we've talked about. He reminded me once again that the priority is tech development. So for him, he wants to build the foundation with a small f. He wants to set that so that it works appropriately to then start enabling the development of the broader structure. So the priority for certainly the beginning of this year is the tech development, and I can see that developing on for the rest of 2019. And so if there is marketing, it's going to be focused on tech and about focusing on how we attract and make the space attractive to developers, because we've got to build it and they will come. We talked about finances. He spoke to me off the record about the quantity of finances that they raised, and it's a significant amount, and he is a frugal man. He is not going to waste your money. I doubt very much that he drives a Lamborghini. Now, if you want to chase after a crypto company where all the CEOs, where the CEO and all of the team have Lamborghinis and are splashing their cash around, then by all means. I suspect that's not the case. So he has told me that absolutely, with his conservative estimate, he's got, or Elastos have 2 years of funding for the about 100 people that are working on this around the world at the moment. Now, a developer costs a fair amount of money. Even in China, you're probably only saving a third of the cost that you might need to spend in Europe or America these days. So that is a significant amount of cash. So without doing anything else, Elastos can fund its 100 developers for 2 years. So today's price is irrelevant, because they've got that, and that's stored, and that's safe, and that's going to fund that development until 2021. By which point, through all of the other entrepreneurial businesses that are going to come onto Elastos, the token starts to generate its own money as well. There's also that 16 million ELA that's available for Cyber Republic. And at today's price, it's probably what, $30 million. That's a decent amount of funding for a whole load of businesses. And that's available to us. You write the business case, we get it signed off by the community, and we track it in proper measures and deliverables, so that, you know, it's just not wasted. And that can be spent on developing the ecosystem. He reminded me that the foundation doesn't actually have an income stream. The foundation's got its money, and it wants to reduce its relevance over time, so that ultimately it hands over responsibilities to develop on Elastos to all of the companies that make it up. The key point here is that this is being built for startup entrepreneurs, you know, who want to use a safer environment, who can see that there's a utility in a safer environment, a safer internet, and an ecosystem that is going to contribute to a better distribution of wealth over time. I'll tell you quickly an analogy or metaphor that we used during the conversation. And I said, look, you know, you need to come into the spotlight, and you need to stand there like a leader and point the direction. And he said, Chris, I'm not Elastos. I'm the mentor, I'm the advisor. I'm the guiding light, perhaps, but I'm not it. And we talked about a Christmas tree, and the idea that, you know, Rong might be the star that sits on top of the tree, But the star alone is not the Christmas tree. They add to each other. And the people that you're familiar with from interactions on all of the social media platforms, like KP and Gandhi and Donny, Fei Li, you know, the crowd that you hear most of, he said they're not Elastos either. They are decorations on Elastos. That's pretty harsh, but they're not the tree. The tree itself sits and exists. Every branch of that tree is one of the organizations that is being built around Elastos and using it. Come on. Good boy. So what he was saying there is, imagine putting Christmas lights around your tree. In the dark, your tree looks like all the lights. And what is hidden sometimes is the tree itself. And what you can see is the glowing star on the top and all of the lights or candles distributed around it in that traditional inverted V shape. But he said, turn the electricity off and you can't see them, but the tree is still there. You've got to think about what the tree is itself, not the baubles and the decorations on the edges of it, because they can come and go, and every year they might. But the tree, from the seed of an idea through to all of the branches that are added on to that central trunk, that's the tree. That is Elastos. And I think that's worth remembering. And so our conversation to me shone a light on the fact that we have this growing tree. And every time a new entrepreneurial idea comes in and a business startup attaches itself to the trunk, we get another branch of the tree. And that can grow. That tree will grow and mature over time into something extraordinary, you know, into something large, into something that is going to prosper for many years to come and provides life, oxygen into an environment that we know that it needs to. Now, today, I'm just another little Christmas tree light, shining, illuminating a little bit of the tree. And actually what we all need to do is contribute to lighting that up. We can all be little lights, little nodes that show others where this tree is. And what we're not doing as a community is focusing on the bauble or the star at the top. If you're interested in an organization that wants to focus on the star at the top and the ego of that individual, then by all means, there are plenty of projects out there that can do that. If you're genuinely interested in building a tree that is going to be part of its natural environment and provide for it, then that's Elastos. So I've got 6 points that I think I can summarize this. And I wrote them down so I don't forget. The first one is values. The value that Rong and Feng Han and others in the community hold very dear are the fact that this project is decentralized. It needs to be borderless. It's about peer-to-peer. It is absolutely participatory in its nature. There's no geographic center to it. It is a truly global project. It's the trunk around which everything else can build itself. The second point is the first of 2 attributes, and that is the fact that this is about community decision making. The foundation, the importance of the foundation will be reduced over time as Cyber Republic, as the Republic grows. And all the projects that are funded through Cyber Republic will be funded within the scrutiny of the public. So if they don't perform, if they don't measure up to what was promised, then the public gets to decide whether or not they continue and whether it can see the benefits. So they will be doing marketing. They will be explaining what it is that they're doing and what it is that they're bringing to the ecosystem. The third point and second attribute is that Elastos is a sum of its parts, and it's going to be greater than that. It's an ecosystem of startups that will themselves grow into mature branches of the tree, and they're all communicating to the greater good. The fourth point is about philosophy, and I think this is crucial to our understanding of what Elastos hopes to be and the time frame in which it wants to be that. And it's comforting, because when you start to see Elastos in the time frame that I'll mention next, then you start to lose the fear, because this is all being built. The branches are being put together at the moment. There are people out there who have known Rong for years, Jimmy and Rebecca, just to name two, who are pulling parts of this organisation into the whole, and they are building it within the vision, working on it now. The funding is there to fund these teams out for 2 years, no matter what the price of this Ella. But it's an immature environment, the crypto space, and we have immature investors, so the price fluctuates depending upon the demand for it. My personal perspective is that as the crypto space itself matures and the investors mature, so will the decisions about where they invest. And when mature investment decisions are made, they are going to gravitate towards maturing and mature philosophies and organizations that are going to last, and Elastos is going to be one of those. So in that philosophy, we're moving from the spider organization, where the head is at the center and all the legs do what they're told by the head, to more of a starfish-like organization, where the neural network is distributed, but it all has to work together in order to survive and benefit itself and its environment. But there's no ego in a starfish, and I think that is where we are with Rong and where we are with the leadership of the organization. It's not about them, it's about us, and it's about us contributing to that. So my fifth point is about time. The time frame for this is not overnight. It takes time to build an internet. Look how long it's taken Bitcoin just to establish itself in a fraction of the population's mind. You know, we're 10 years in, and it's still early days. So this project will take time, but you've got to have some strategic patience. And now, therefore, is an amazing opportunity. If you want to buy into the internet of the future, then here is your opportunity to do it at prices that are affordable. So no matter where you are in the world, you can own a piece of this at today's prices. And I think those that don't are going to regret it in the future. My last point is that it's not about one man, it's not about a core team, it's about the contribution of the Cyber Republic, it's about us. So if you want to develop, if you're a developer and you want to build something, you want to have a startup, then you can do it. You can apply, you can put your business model forward, and if it's good, if it's got a good basis, then it will be funded. I mean, that's amazing. If you're not a developer, if you're not technically minded, you can contribute to this project through your art, through your understanding of science, through whatever it means that you wish. You can inform others about this idea, and you can contribute to the philosophical growth of Elastos. And if you're an investor, and you don't have time to contribute in any other way, you can contribute merely by buying and holding. And my personal view, which is not financial advice, is that you will easily recoup your initial investment. I think the return on this is going to be very high. And particularly now, when there is so much fear and uncertainty and doubt in the bear market of today, it's an opportunity for all of us. So those were my ramblings. I hope that may have given you some idea of what we discussed the other day and about why the organisation is working in the way that it is. And if I think of any more and you like this, then I will continue to provide you with some thoughts about where I see Elastos going in the future and how we can support it. And just on that final note, if you want to set up a business development hub in your country or in your region, then now's the opportunity. You know, if you've got an inkling of entrepreneurial spirit, then, you know, take a look at the business development team in North America. And if you think you can do better in any other part of the world, then crack on. Then gather your friends in, work out what talents you need, work out how you're going to do it, and put an idea forward. Because it may well be that your business development hub in Africa or India or Europe or Australasia or wherever actually then becomes the leader, or the leading light that shines on the tree that we have been discussing. And you're the organisation that brings all of those branches into the central trunk. And there's opportunity in that too. So, you know, now is a special moment. 2019 is an amazing year. It's only just started, and I think for many there is darkness all around them. But just take a walk outside, spend some time with your family, have a think about strategic patience and an Eastern philosophy meets West, and contribute in whatever way you can to building an ecosystem that is going to benefit all of us globally. Okay, have a good day.